Hi, you're watching Cric World Straight Up with Vijay and Prabhu. Keep watching.
Welcome to another episode of Cric World Straight Up. Today, India plays the 1000 ODI game, becoming the first nation to do so. In 1974, India played the first game against England, and in the first 38 games, India managed to win only 11 games. The importance of one-day cricket could have been understood by the fact that Sunil Gavaskar actually played a full one-day match in the World Cup, scoring 36 runs and deeming it as a practice game for the test matches following.
So today we are going to look at the historical games that have led to India becoming a giant in the one-dayers. Let's have a look at how many games the rest of the countries have played. So India has played so far 999 games, as Prabhu said. The next on the list is actually Australia with 958 games. And if you look at, they actually had a 3-year head start. The first Australia and England game was played in 1971. Third on the list is actually Pakistan. They've played 936 games.
Going back down memory lane, I remember in the early wee hours of the morning, India stunned the West Indies in Berbice in 1983, of just a few months before the very important 1983 World Cup. Sunil Gavaskar hit a magnificent 90 and Kapildev 72 of 38 balls. India stunned the West Indies, like I said, and the world actually woke up to the fact that India could actually do something in one-day cricket, because before that we were just treated very lightly by most all comers. Moving on, in the World Cup itself, the first league game against the West Indies at Old Trafford, India won that match as well. That gave us the belief for the team to see that they could actually go deep into the tournament. In fact, we were quoted as a 500 to 1 by the bookmakers before the tournament started, and some people made a lot of money on India apparently. If you look at the journey of those two games against the all-conquering West Indian team, it was very significant for India to do that in the matter of 3 months. Nobody else had really taken them on, and India actually took them on and won.
Absolutely, and these two games actually kind of laid the platform for Indians to start, as you said, make the feeling of having the belief in their own game. Now we come to a crunch game, the Tunbridge Wells game against Zimbabwe. Now, why this is so important is because I quite vividly remember I was having a drink with my friends back then, and we had just switched on the commentary, and back then, you were not seeing a World Cup on television, at least the matches. This particular match, actually there is no footage anyway, as well. So, I was sitting with my friends, and I just switched on the radio, and it was 16 for 4 and 17 for 5. At 17 for 5, I was so disgusted, I switched off the transistor, and later on I come to know that Kapildev had made 175 runs not out, and India somehow managed to get to 278 or 80 and defeated Zimbabwe. And mind you, Zimbabwe was not the kind of team that it is today. It is such a shame that that India-Zimbabwe match is not televised, or actually there is no footage of it anywhere to see.
That's absolutely true, and to my mind, in the history of televised cricket, this is the best innings never to be been recorded, because the BBC had a strike that day.
Exactly. Yeah.
India won that game and changed the fortunes of probably the tournament for India. Then India went on to beat the West Indies in the final. I remember, and probably the whole of India remembers, what happened during that match. West Indies heavy favourites to win. Green pitch, 4 fast bowlers, and India looked like no hopers. The only hope they had was the fact that they had beaten the West Indies a couple of times in the last 4 months, but not really too many people gave them a hope to win the game. We scored 183. Kapildev tells the guys, we have scored 183, they have yet to score the runs. Let's give them a good fight. and let's make them struggle for every run. And that's what actually happened. He made them struggle, and they lost wickets because the pressure was put on. And who can forget that amazing catch by Kapildev to get rid of Vivian Richards, and now Sir Vivian Richards. India won that game, won that tournament, won the hearts of everybody around the world, and they were on top of the world for a long, long time in the hearts of everybody. There was the one pivotal game which actually culminated in the series of events which led to that game, the last 4 games which we have covered, and we could see the effect it had on world cricket. India was now a power which we could not be ignored.
Correct. Yeah, so 1983 World Cup win also kind of made India, they could actually now ask to host the next World Cup. So the 1987 World Cup was brought to India, basically based on, they're winning the World Cup. Prior to that, all 3 World Cups were held in England, as you know.
You know, Vijay, some interesting trivia about the 1983 World Cup. The Indian team, so to speak, had given up the chances of, or probably not even considered to be looking at the knockout stages. They had their tickets booked after the qualifying stages because they really didn't expect to make it that far. And then they won the knockouts, the qualifying stages, reached the semi-finals. They made a change in their bookings. And then there was another change because they won the semi-finals as well. It's just amazing. And you probably know that the English press didn't give India much of a chance either.
That whole 1983 World Cup has now been immortalized in a Bollywood movie, I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we come to another very important stage in this Indian cricket's one-day journey, which is, if you might remember this, 1985. Back then it was called Benson Hedges. So in 1985, India beat Pakistan in the finals, and if 1983 was considered a fluke, now India was supposed to be taken seriously. Then we come to 1996, Bangalore, another game against Pakistan. And why we're discussing that, and why, even though India did not actually go on to win that particular World Cup, why it is important is because Pakistan at that time were the world champions. They had actually won 1992 World Cup. So this was a very pivotal game, and tensions were high, and India managed to get 270 odd runs at the back of Jadeja's fantastic inning, and managed to get Pakistan out.
I guess, friends, you know what this is all about. 2002 NatWest final, India-England. The scene is India has just beaten England in that match with fantastic contributions from Cric and Yuvraj. And that shirt was actually removed and swirled by none other than our BCCI chief, Mr. Saurav Ganguly. He had a tete-a-tete with Andrew Flintoff, and after we won the game, this was his response, and that is like epic. It made people believe that India is now so aggressive that we can take on all comers in foreign conditions, and that was a very, very pivotal match. Do you remember that match?
Yes, I remember that very vividly, and every time I see the highlights, I kind of enjoy that Ganguly on the balcony, swirling his shirt. Who can forget that? That was brilliant.
It was amazing, yeah.
So 2011 World Cup, there are a number of pivotal matches, okay? But without having to go through each stage, let's go to the final. The final was actually at Bombay or Mumbai, Wankhede Stadium, which is where I grew up. And interestingly, both of us grew up.
Yeah.
So interestingly, this particular thing was one of those marquee events for India, and all expectations. So against all odds, somehow Sri Lankan had reached the final, and it seemed at one point that Sri Lanka was running away with it because Mahela Jayawardene had scored 100 plus, and it seemed that Tendulkar got out. I think Sehwag also got out early. All those things meant that India were going to struggle at some point. But then Captain Fantastic and Gautam Gambhir managed to do it, and of course Yuvraj Singh They somehow managed to get together and put in some fantastic performances. And after 28 years from the triumph at Lord's in 1983, India managed to win the 2011 World Cup, a dream for Sachin Tendulkar, and very, very important part of India's one-day history.
We'll take you to another series with Australia in 2019 under the captaincy of Kohli. Now that's a very special moment for us because we won the Test series and the one-dayers, and it's the first time we came back from Australia without losing any form of the game. So that was a very important moment for Kohli and the Indian team in 2019.
That is correct. So
when you look at the one-day journey of India, I mean, many stages. It's like 0 to 60 in I don't know how many minutes, because we took off very, very slowly.
Yeah.
And then we took off in the 1983, then stuttered a little bit,
yes.
And then we took off again.
Yeah.
And now, every time we step onto the field in a one-day game, India is almost favorite to win against anybody.
Okay.
And that's the impact. We've had some fantastic captains along the way, Kapildev, Sunil Gavaskar, then we had Dhoni and Ganguly, Virat Kohli. We've had such amazing contributions, not only as players but as captains, to make us believe that we could be favorites, and that basically speaks all.
Absolutely. And this particular historic event, that is the 1,001 day, which is if you look at from an ordinary cricket fan like myself, I feel immensely proud that I actually follow a team so closely, which has actually reached the heights which nobody had imagined at one point. Yeah.
See, if you leave out the first 3 World Cups or keep it till the final of the 83 World Cup, it's West Indies all the way. If you look at the journey from 83 to 22, that's 39 years, I think India is there with the best.
Absolutely. Well, India has featured in so many finals of the World Cup as well. So India featured in the final in 2003. They did not win it. That's a different story against Australia. So India actually, and almost every time they've made it to the semi-final stage. So they are a force to reckon with. Absolutely. And look, who can forget the contribution of people like Sachin Tendulkar? 463 one-days he's played, which is, if you look at it, almost half of the one-day that India has ever played. He is actually featured in 46 or 47% of all those.
Yes, and 18,000 runs.
Correct.
And 4,900.
Correct.
A record which probably might be broken someday very soon by Virat Kohli. But till then, it's Sachin Tendulkar all the way.
Absolutely. So, thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like, share and subscribe and continue to support us.
We look forward to your feedback and comments, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and please share the video. Thank you so much and see you on our next video. Bye!